two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the comeback player of the year in 2018. A Pro Bowl quarterback as well a season ago, Andrew Luck.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And let's look quickly here at the Denver offense.
And how about Phillip Lindsay's rookie season? Began the year 3rd on the depth chart. Finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado with speed to burn.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And all this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stopped him behind the line for the second straight play. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. He'll let this go deep for... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. .45 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
Now a carry for Lindsay. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsay. 16 carries, 127 yards, and a score.
So he scored his 8th touchdown on the ground last week, and most guys I know, they want to get into round numbers. So, 10 is really the goal, and this is one sport where being selfish and scoring touchdowns is a good thing. Look for he and the offense to try and get him in there at least twice in this game.
On 2nd and 2, Luck. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Noah Fant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Let's go, let's do it.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. It seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Escaping the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed two terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
They'll run with Elliott, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. But look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. A first down carry by Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 40.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. And if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Hey, 24. 47's the mic, boy. 47.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. This is Elliott. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on third, Watson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Boom! That's how we do it, baby.
Charles. A little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness again. Against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Lott, throwing the out route incomplete. It's Sutton. And down he'll go at the 25. Throwing on third down, Lott. And this one caught by Cameron Braid. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And this one complete to Will Fuller. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Watson under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Adam Gotsis, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On first down, Elliott. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Watson. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long. It's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run on first down. It's Elliott, a pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. Still longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Watson. And that's Elliott, complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, That's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
No game. On that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Play action. It's Locke. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton. His 6th touchdown of the season, and the Broncos have retaken the lead. McManus's point after is good, and the lead is now 14-10. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes
the Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 1st down, it's Elliott, and he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
March 47. March 47. I got you.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Over the middle, it's Thomas. That'll bring up 4th down after back-to-back-to-back 3-yard pickups.
Pretty heavy traffic over the middle on that one, and somehow he emerged with the football. Way to possess it, despite all the extra contact and people around him.
Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Under a heavy rush. rushing down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney able to record his 5th sack of the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now Riddick. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 3rd and long, it's Locke. He finds Riddick complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yep. They really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Elliott, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike's 47. Here we go. Hey, check.
On 2nd and 9. Watson eluding the pressure right. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 16 yards, a 1st down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. A shotgun snap for Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. He had a little bit of the Turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's now 10 of 10 throwing the ball here to start the game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Phillip Lindsay, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And there's a good opportunity to just run a ride there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And they'll get this down to the 10. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beaten.
And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Broncos push further out in front. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. So that drive, 4 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team. Maybe
a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And his guys are going to... over at the 31-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
And break, the tight end's got it. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Lindsay. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Watson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And we'll see. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. A big play there as the first half is winding down. As his guys are back within a single score. They haven't fully climbed the mountain, but they've started the ascent here with that score.
I like that, right? I think they've left base camp now, okay? So they've started to move their way up the mountain. Long way to go, but at least they know it's manageable.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started with the 2 teams a Hall of Famer Tony Dungy had great successes with as a head coach. Indianapolis taking on Tampa Bay. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. From there, we head a little further north up to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. DJ Moore, a touchdown reception. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins. Sam Darnold, 4 touchdown passes. In our game, it was Andrew Luck who had the hot hand in the first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front. As we hand things back over to Brandon